Hi, my name is Vincent Cheng, and I'm the founder of Malaysian Business Network and also the principal consultant and CEO of Javin Solutions, your online marketing partner in Malaysia. I just want to talk about Facebook marketing and social media marketing strategies for your business today. So before you perform marketing, you need to understand there are different kinds of people in this world. Marketing, to me, when I define marketing, it is really about how you deal with human beings. It is a way of how you influence purchase behavior by understanding the different personalities of people. So some of you may have heard of this personality profile system called DISC. So there are basically four kinds of main character human beings and people in this world. They are categorized by the dominant. Dominant people are decisive. They will dominate you sometimes, and they'll decide things for you. And this could be a very male and egoistic trait. So they will speak to you like this: "I want this done right now. You better listen to me." Okay, so that is the dominant trait. And in terms of influential, these are the people which will care about your feelings, and they will speak in a way where they would take care of your feelings first before asking you to do things. So influential people will speak in this way: "Can you listen to me? Can you get this done?" So that is influential kind of people's speech. The next is steadiness. Steadiness are people who check out about something and feels that it may be good for them to follow. So steadiness people speak like this: "I better listen to this guy. I should listen to this guy because it may bring me good stuff." So that's steadiness. The next one is compliant. Compliant are people who submit, and sometimes blindly. They are the greatest followers you could ever get. So they will speak like this: "I will do whatever you say in spite of whatever I need. I will just comply. I will just submit. I will just surrender." So that is compliant. As you can see, understanding this four character personality traits of people, you would need to define your marketing campaign on Facebook and deal with the people on Facebook with the right tone, the right speech, the right angle when you talk to them or comment on their stuff, or even when you send out your marketing message. So the next thing we need to understand is we are living together with four different generations, and the different kinds or the different generation of people which we are living together with will communicate differently, and we will have to target or speak in the way they want to be spoken to, so that your marketing message in social media like Facebook or Twitter will be heard in the way which they like to hear. So let me just illustrate what I mean by that. So if you would observe, we are living with a generation, the older generation currently is pretty much the baby boomer. Okay, they are between 45 to 63 years old. They are born between 1946 to 1964. Okay, generally these are the people which was not brought up in a internet setting. So the technology or the mass media which they would be comfortable and familiar with is the television. Okay, so television is a media which talks one way, and a baby boomer generally is also being taught by their parents, which is the builders, which tells them to do things and just submit. Therefore, when they bring up their kids, or when they talk to the next generation, which is Generation X to Generation Y, which is their kids, they will talk in a way in which it may be sounding a little bit condescending, or a little bit instructive, or a little bit commanding. Okay, So the next generation we want to talk about is Generation X. This generation is born between 1965 to 1977. They're between 30 plus years old to 45 or 44 years old. So this generation is growing up together with the internet as in the 90s when they are in their teens or in their 20s. They would have used the internet in its infancy stage, where we would be looking at Web 1.0, whereby the website has a lot of static websites, and it's just basically a brochure online with the 5-page normal stuff like about us, contact us, products and services kind of website. Okay, so they were living together with dial-up connections, and the internet was practically not in the broadband era yet. So a lot of things they read online is basically just one way. They are just reading and consuming content. There was not much of websites where they can respond to or talk back to, which is in contrast with the generation-wise era of the internet, where we are already in something called the Web 2.0. Web 2.0 is an era I think started in around the year 2003 2004, whereby you begin to see websites going towards allowing the users to interact and post comments and have blogs or social networks and forums and also wikis, where all these different websites allow the Generation Y or the internet user to begin posting back their opinion and feedbacks, so that the publisher or the owner of the website is able to gather feedback and store it in a database, so that they can do a meaningful interpretation of those feedbacks for the betterment of their business. Okay, so Generation Y, when they are born or when they are in their teens, they are already using the internet in the way where they can communicate back towards the website, which is very different from the Generation X's internet or the baby boomers TV media consumption. Okay, and more interestingly is the Generation Z, which is pretty much my kids, which is born after the year 2000. Okay, so they are below 10 or 9 years old. Okay, and they will be already what we call as very familiar with digital gadgets like iPad and laptops and all those mobile phones and smartphones, where it becomes so natural to them. You see, the difference between Gen Y and Gen Z is Gen Z would be growing up in the era of matured internet. Okay, so Gen Y currently is going towards the mobile side of things with smartphones and stuff, but the Generation Z will be somehow familiar with these things. Even my 2-year-old kid already know how to use my iPhone, and also beginning to learn what is an iPad, and also using a mouse on the computer or laptop. So knowing that there is a different generation and this kind of gap which has been created because of the difference of digital media consumption, has paved the way of baby boomers seeing the Gen X, Y or Z being a little bit rebellious. Not so much of the Gen X, but Gen Y and Gen Z, because they are very resourceful, they are able to find information. But the baby boomer may see that, hey, these young punks may think that they know a lot, but with our experience, this Gen Y and Gen Z should listen to us. But on the other hand, the Gen Y and Gen Z would actually see it as, hey, I know about all this internet stuff and I can Google stuff at my fingertips, and I don't need to depend on experience. I can Google all this and get to know what I need to know. So I'm not citing anybody here. I'm just saying that there's this difference of perception that has caused the gap to be made further, and it happens not only in the family setting, whereby the older baby boomer parents are talking down to the Gen Y and Gen Z for being impatient. Um, it is also happening in the business setting, whereby the generation, which is the higher management and the senior management of companies, will see that this Gen Y and Gen Z cannot sit still, and they sometimes may be a bit rebellious. So, but the Gen Y and Gen Z says in their subconscious, because of the internet and because of this mobile technologies, they're saying, we know stuff, please allow us to progress in our career faster. So the baby boomer has a fixed set of principles and thoughts which may not align with the Gen Y and Gen Z's thought. Okay, and the Gen Y and Gen Z thinks they know enough to progress faster than what they are given the opportunity by the baby boomer. Okay, the Gen X is pretty much, they're caught in between, like, okay, I need to report to my baby boomer boss, but I also need to take care of this Gen Y, which is going faster than me, so I'm just like caught in between. So I'm trying to cope in the organization with the difference of mindset, because really they are in between the two in terms of technology and mindset. So at this point, I just want to focus more on the Generation Y, because it is a very interesting generation to be living together with us in this current situation in life. What I would like to talk to you about is the characteristics of the Generation Y, which is the millennial generation. It is also interesting for me to explain this because I am born in 1978, and I am pretty much a hybrid between Generation X and Generation Y. Okay, so Generation Y lives in a way where they have their own little manifesto or Bible, where they uphold according to when I said manifesto and Bible, it means they have their own principles and culture which they hold close to their hearts, where they want to express about, because just because of they are living in this generation of mobile and internet. So let me just go through these characteristics with you quickly, so that you will understand whether they are resourceful or they are rebellious, and why is that. Okay, it could be your misconceptions about them. So let me just explain this quickly. So the first one is, we want freedom in everything that we do, from freedom of choice to freedom of expression. That simply means if you micromanage them, they will leave you and they will hate you, and they won't want to do things for you. They want to be free. They don't want to be seen over the shoulder while they are working on their computers in their offices. They want to do it in their own way. So give them a task and let them do it in the way they want to do it, rather than telling them every minute detail until they feel that you are choking them or micromanaging them. Okay, apart from that, the second one is, we love to customize and personalize. Okay, as a Generation Y, what they like to do is, or what we like to do is, when they're given a task or an item, they would like to further personalize that towards their needs. Assuming you give them a company laptop or you give them an iPhone, they will change the screensaver, they will actually put the new skin on the laptop's screen, they will change the things according to their customization and their comfortable way of doing things, or their pattern. Okay, they love to customize and personalize. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is they are scrutinizers and check people up online before they work for or with the people they are getting hired with. Okay, so scrutinizers means, because of Google, they can Google you up as a CEO and see whether you're doing hanky-panky stuff, or you are a person of integrity, and they'll find out every single situation or personality of the person or the company they're going to work with before they even turn up for the interview. Okay, we look for corporate integrity and openness when deciding what to buy and where to work. If they are not being treated as equal, and if the management sees them as like they are the young guys and they shouldn't know so much, and because of that we sacrifice openness, or they see practically some corruption is happening in terms of the corporate process, they would not want to work or purchase the item from this company. Okay, the fifth one is we want entertainment and play in our work. Education and social life, mixing business with pleasure, fun in our work, but yet perform well. What that simply means is they love to have entertainment and play while they are working. Okay, the old proverb or the old manifesto says, or it may come from the baby boomer and Gen X generation or the builders generation, that says, do not mix business with pleasure. But for Generation Y, they said, I want to mix business with pleasure because I love to enjoy my work while getting entertained. Okay, so to illustrate this point, let's make it simple. I'm going to give you a simple example, which is if you don't have Facebook or YouTube in the office for them, or you ban the internet and you take away all these internet connections on MSN Messenger or Skype, these guys, the Generation Y, will say, okay, no matter how much money you're going to pay me, I'm not going to work for you because there's no fun in working in your company. So bear in mind, Generation Y is not really about money only. These guys want to feel like they are enjoying their work when they are working. So that's who they are when it comes to work. Entertainment and play in their work. Okay, next. We are a collaboration and relationship generation. If you put them on a desk-bound job and you do not allow them to experience like joint ventures and events and where they can meet new people and collaborate with other partners, or if they are not given a chance to talk to different people, you're sacrificing their relationship and collaboration skills or their needs, and thus making it a bit harder for you to relate to this generation, and they may feel like there's not much motivation in working or hanging out with you. Okay, number 7, we are a generation of speed. They can Google up a proposal which takes a baby boomer about 10 days to do with just 5 minutes on Google, and find a proposal and innovate it, which ties into my 8th point, and instantly give it to you in about a matter of minutes. So they can go to Google, Google up a proposal on some project or topic, modify it, innovate it, and pass it up as an assignment or a project document to their superior and management. So Generation Y lives by these rules. Okay, so let me just go through it again. They want freedom, they love to customize, they love to scrutinize, they want openness and integrity, they love entertainment and play, they like collaboration and relationship, they like speed, they are also innovators. So remember, Gen Y works by this rule and manifesto in their minds subconsciously, and they live this every day. So deal with them according to this manifesto. So we just learned about the different personality from DISC, the dominant, influential, steadiness, and compliant. We have just learned about the generation gap, the baby boomers, the Gen X, the Gen Y, and Gen Z, and how they relate to each other, and why there is a gap in terms of media consumption and the way human relationships are done through different generations. We have also went through the Generation Y manifesto and principles and how they work and why they are like that. So now let's go into Facebook and see how all this comes together when you have understand human beings and how we should go and market and approach people. And because Facebook is a social media, and social means people. And before you even use social media to do marketing, first thing is for you to understand people. That's why we went through the 3 slides before this. Okay, so how many Malaysians are on Facebook right now? If you really look closely, today if you check out on Facebook under the advertising section, let me just show you quickly. So right now I'm just going to show you the where you can check out the how many Malaysians are on Facebook. This is my Facebook account. So just scroll down and look for advertising. Okay, and click that, and you would actually see this called create an ad. Okay, and from there what you can do is to see how many Malaysians are on Facebook. Okay, as you can see this part, it shows that there are about close to about 9.4 million Malaysians on Facebook with ages 18 and above. And if you notice, we have a population of 28 million, and 10 million is on Facebook, and we have an online population of about 16 million. Basically 10 million out of 16 million online Malaysians are on Facebook. So pretty much more than half our online Malaysian population is already on Facebook. And that is not really the entire story here. So if I would just to put any age to any age, you would see we have close to about 12 million Malaysians on Facebook, not age from 13 and above. And obviously there are members from the Malaysian people which is below 13 years in Facebook as well. So basically you just have seen how many Malaysians are really on Facebook according to the advertising engine. Let me just explain that. We have 12 million Malaysians on Facebook, 16 million online population of the Malaysian citizens, and total population is about 27 million, which is basically we have close to half of our Malaysian population on Facebook. Okay, what are the demographics? So I think it's 50-50 in terms of male and female gender. How big is Facebook? We are looking at today about 800 million users already. I'm sure it will hit 1 billion soon enough, and that goes to show it is becoming a mainstream media. And social networks like Facebook is going to be on par with traditional media and like newspapers and magazines and TV. So it becomes a mass media already. And how does it all relate to social media marketing? Is, as you understand that it is becoming a mass media, but it is also a social media, we as business people need to understand what is really social media before we engage into marketing through these platforms. So I'm going to show you in the next few slides after this. So let's begin to understand what is really social media. Okay, this word is popping up a lot in the past few years. From Malaysia, I think this social media word has been around for the past 2-3 years, I think, and it's becoming quite a big buzz right now, and it pays for us as business owners, whether in Malaysia or beyond, to know what actually is social media. So to me, social media is basically platforms where you allow for two-way communication, and which is in closely tied with Web 2.0. Web 2.0 to me is basically a web that allows for two-way communication. It's as simple as that. Okay, and social media to me is divided into four main categories. It is social networks like Facebook and even Twitter, and if you haven't noticed, it's even also YouTube, because YouTube allow you to join as a member and connect with other users or even video creators within YouTube. Okay, so social networks are like Facebook, Friendster, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, and even MySpace, if you like. But the biggest currently right now is Facebook. So in terms of forums, it allows you to post opinions and solicit response from the user of the forums. Okay, there are many different forums out there, from gardening to stamp collecting to business forums, right up to interest and passion and hobbies forums. Okay, in terms of blogs, you have a post or article from experts which is constantly being updated, like an author or a multiple author blog platform where people talk about a particular topic and allow for commenting on the blog itself. So blogs is also 2.0, or a social media where people can gather and talk about stuff. That's why it's called social media. Okay, and wikis is pretty much like your project collaboration document, where let's say your project team members are coming from different countries, or you have a community coming from different countries talking about a particular topic. They can log into the wiki and they are allowed to edit that piece of article according to their perception and ideas. And let's say you're from Thailand or from United States or from Malaysia, each can edit it at the same time with different versions of it, and ultimately it will be also being adjusted and aligned or even proofread by the public as well. So an example, or the best example of wikis, is basically Wikipedia. So these are the different social media platforms, the four main categories which I see. So before I continue with the marketing strategies, I'd like to continue to build upon the foundation of this new phenomenon called social media, and the concept which Facebook was built upon, which is called the 6 degrees of separation. 6 degrees of separation is basically saying everybody in this world is somehow connected to each other. You just don't know who you're connected to yet. Means, assuming you are from point A here and you want to reach to this guy, which could be President Obama or some business guy you want to contact. If you know enough of people which is connected somehow to each other, you may be able to have a referral relationship towards this person. What I mean is, assuming you're A and you know person 1 or B, and this guy may have some connections, and if he asks around, he will get to number 2, and this number 2 asks around, he may get to number 3, and so on, right to 4 and 5, and somehow actually you are somehow connected to this guy in 6 layers of relationships, or 6 degrees of relationship. Means it only takes you 5 different contact points to reach to the person you want to reach, no matter how far in this planet Earth with 7 billion people. Sometimes it could be the person you want to reach is as close as 2nd degree or the 3rd degree. You don't have to go up to 6th degree to find that person. So you may just need to ask number 1, hey, do you know this guy, or do you know anybody who know this guy? And this number 1 will ask around his friends, and somehow he will be connected to number 2, and the number 2 do the same, and you are referred to number 2, and number 2 gets to number 3, and that's where you as A will be referred to number 3. Okay, and you can start doing business through the 2 degrees of referral here, and based on the relationship, hopefully you will close the deal. And that's how Facebook is built upon, where if you have enough friends, or if you ask enough of friends, or even if you check out the profile of your friends, they may have the contacts or the prospects which you want. So everybody on the internet or Facebook or on planet Earth is pretty much connected, and knowing that fact, social media is a very good platform to do marketing in terms of referral and word of mouth if you do this correctly. And that's what I'm trying to explain here to the concept of 6 degrees of separation. Okay, moving on, we need to understand what is social technographics. It's basically a participation level of different people on the internet and how they consume digital media, so we can approach them differently to market to them effectively as business owners. Okay, so let's go through what is social technographics. So social technographics is created by Forrester Research. Okay, and if you have heard of companies like AC Nielsen and International Data Corporation and Forrester Research, these are market research companies that do surveys and come up with concepts and principles about what's happening in the world and apply it into marketing campaigns. Okay, so in terms of this social technographics, first thing we need to note is we have somebody called the creator. A creator is basically an internet user that creates original content and upload it to the internet for public viewing. So according to this slide and this technographics letter from Forrester Research, creators actually publish a blog, or they have their own page, they create their own videos and their own music, or create their own articles and post it on their blogs or something. Okay, so creators are practically producers of content, original content. So they are like pretty much like authors of music composers or video directors or movie directors of the internet. So they not necessarily are professional in that, but basically they publishes a lot of content in their own little way through their mobile phones or a camera or through their creativity. So the next level in this social technographics ladder is actually the critics. The critics do not publish their own content, but they criticize the creator's content. So basically they are creating criticism, and criticism in this sense doesn't mean it's negative. It means that they just like to talk about other people's stuff. Right, so some of the things which they do is they post ratings, they comment on someone else's blog, they contribute to online forums, and they contribute to articles in a wiki. Okay, they don't necessarily start things, but they actually comment on existing things or content or media. Okay, so that is critics. The next is collectors. Collectors, basically they download stuff, they collect stuff, they don't contribute back to the internet, they just take and consume and download. So they use something called the RSS feeds, where you can subscribe to news and which can be pushed to their mobile phones or their news reader as it happens. They may add tags to web pages or photos, means they categorize things. Right, they may vote for websites online. Okay, so that's as far as collectors go. They download white papers and they download ebooks and PDFs to read. They download videos for consumption at home or for personal consumption, or they stream videos and just consume content passively without really going out there to push new things out into the internet. Okay. And the next level here, let's talk about joiners. Joiners are basically a person who joins a social network and have a username and password. They visit social networking sites and they maintain their own profile with a little bit of status update, but not really that active. Joiners to me means also somebody who has a username and password to Facebook, but they don't really log in and participate much. So those are joiners. Okay, spectators are people who don't even have a social network, or a Facebook account, they generally just consume news and content like reading blogs and watching video and listening to podcasts and reading online forums and reading reviews, not posting reviews but just reading and just watching what's happening in the internet without much of an engagement or participation. And the inactives basically are none of the above. Practically, they may not even have a mobile phone. They may not love computers and technology. This could be the older generation of baby boomers and builders which do not consume digital media. So we have 6 different kinds of participation level from different users of the internet, and to market to these different levels of participating users, we need different strategies to influence them towards a buying decision. So let me talk about social dynamics in this slide. What is really social dynamics and what is the importance of this? Basically, to put it in a nutshell before I even go into the different points here, social dynamics is basically how branded are you online, how credible are you online, how big are you online, how well known you are online, so that you can convince people to buy from your company, your product, or your services. Means if you are not credible online, you are not seen online, pretty much like you're not known online, basically there's nobody who talks about you or doesn't have an indication or reference point about who you are and what your company does and how credible your company is. So chances of people buying from you, if you just push your promotional marketing materials to them, they will just shun it aside and say, I don't know this guy, I've searched them online and they are not to be found and I don't trust them. Okay, so we are in an economy where it is an attention economy, not really monetary economy or financial economy. Okay, attention is worth much more than money if used correctly. Okay, so remember, we are in the attention economy and money is actually secondary. If you get the right attention, you can make more money than having money itself. Okay, so what is social currency? Social currency ties back to how strong, how influential you are, and how big you are. Just let me give you an example at this point and show you some of the stuff I've done online to improve my credibility and to gain some attention and to build some trust, to increase my social currency, which may convert to monetary returns later via social media. Okay, let me just show you that. So currently I'm on my fan page, and as you can see, currently I've close to about 14,000 fans, and this fan page has been around for I think 2 years now. When I started it, since 2009 or 2010, I'm not too sure, but about 1.5 years to 2 years, and I've done some contests, I've given out some stuff, I've tried to give some valuable good content right here. As you can see, got some videos happening here on my YouTube channel, and it's a pure content which I'm hoping to add value to the audience, and as more audience are being added value or more Facebook users are being given good content through this fan page, I gain some attention, and also some of these people may share this link to get more fans coming in to like this page, even as I continue to give more content. Okay, the other one I want to show you in terms of social currency before I continue is basically this number shows some level of credibility, as well as what we call as, this is somehow something we call social currency. Okay, and let's talk about my YouTube channel. Okay, if you go to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Javin's channel, okay, I've got some videos that show about my speaking sessions in different speaking engagements. I've created some videos to teach people about social media and Facebook marketing, and having these videos and these views here shows that there's some social currency that belongs to me, and that is somehow what we call as online credibility as well. Let me just show you another social media platform which I use to build social currency. It's at my blog, which is javins.com/blog. Okay, many companies still doesn't have and believe in blogs yet, but blogs doesn't need to be difficult. You just have to post some pictures of your speaking engagements or your company events to prove your social currency and your credibility. Okay, you can post about your video event or your industry thoughts about some stuff. Okay, sometimes I write about an article on Facebook marketing, or even like I've spoken on web copy and conversion in a event called the New Media Asia in May 2011. Okay, you can even talk about your achievements. You can even talk about the stuff you have done and why. And this is an interesting article I did on January 16 when way back when somebody says March 15 Facebook will shut down or something. So I took the time to write up some facts about why Facebook wouldn't shut down, and that in itself will show some level of expert knowledge on your part, and that increases your credibility, and which results to social currency, and that may ultimately lead to the convincing of decision makers, of people in business who may want to engage my consultation and training services in terms of online marketing. So we're coming to the summarization of putting all those social stuff foundation which you learn about from the DISC, the personality profiling, the different generation, and how generation Y reacts towards people according to their manifesto, to the different social dynamics and social technographics, what kind of people, the different levels of participation of people towards digital media, as well as how to build online credibility and your brand through social currency and social dynamics. I just want to come back to the old school marketing flow, which is very different from the way social media marketing is supposed to be done. So this is the do not slide which I'm trying to explain here. So when we do old school marketing way of things, basically we advertise in newspapers, TV, radio, and we wait for the returns as if that advertisement is going to actually make us a lot of money. It works very well before the internet, where people can't talk back to you, and whatever you publicize in newspaper, TV, and radio makes you look credible because you've got the money to pay for it, and ultimately people will just trust you because you are a big corporation who have money to pay for advertising. And it works really well in before the web came about. It is high cost, and the channels obviously is newspaper, TV, radio, but it may not work really well today with the advent of the internet and Web 2.0 and social media. So I just want to let you guys know this is something you shouldn't do anymore if you want to do marketing through social media, because today it is all about relationship, it's all about 6 degrees of separation, it's all about word of mouth. So in the next slide I'm going to show you what is the new school marketing flow. So the new school marketing funnel is basically going through the 4 levels of human relationship and how it is built. If you remember, when you get to know a new friend or a new girlfriend or boyfriend, first you gotta get positive attention. You see, when people go to social media, or business owners go to social media, what they do is they just spam people with their product links and hope that people will just pay attention to them. So that is pretty much like going to a pub or bar and trying to kiss the girl straight away without even getting to know her first. So that's negative attention. So to get positive attention is you may want to give good stuff to get the attention. Like if in social media you give a good video, you get an if you could give a good piece of content, pretty much like you buy a girl in the bar a drink before you chat her up to make her like you, pretty much like in social media, mapping it back to social media, to make people like you. Basically you continually give good content and quality content for them to consume, so that they will see you as a trusted advisor, a person who can give them the solution they need, and that you're not always trying to sell them stuff. And over a period of time they will begin to trust you by looking at your fan page content. They will also begin to understand new things through your video and also your blog post, which shows that you are around in the market and that you are a real person or a company which is alive and is serving the community and the customer. Okay, so once you have built up from attention, positive attention, to like and then to trust, that's the time in which you can present your offer, because positive attention is already given to you, and when you pitch and when you do make an offer, people will generally buy because of the trust level which you have built throughout the 3 levels of relationship built before the purchase decision. So it will leverage online word of mouth through click path. What I mean by that is, if you know how people interact with Facebook, it's through news feeds, and through news feeds, if you give them good content, if they constantly get good news feed content like a video link from your company or a good article post on your blog, this will result to them coming to your blog, and you may want to send them to a pitch or an offer where they will buy from there because of the good content and good stuff you've been giving them consistently via Facebook. That means you've been around in the market consistent enough for long term to give good stuff. So it leverages word of mouth. Some people may share your video like I showed you in my fan page, and this is in line with leveraging the 6 degrees of separation. Somehow this word of mouth may get to the person which is your direct profile of your customer or your prospect which needs your products or services. So the closing rate or the conversion rate or the buying rate is higher because credibility has been built through the relationship funnel of attention, like, trust, and then buy. So at this point I just want to talk about the difference between lead generation and conversion. Okay, lead generation basically is you approach a stranger to get a permission to share your offerings. So lead generation is basically going to a prospect or finding a prospect. Okay, and conversion means to build relationship and credibility and trust with this lead or prospect and convert them from a prospect to a buyer or a customer. So lead generation is a process of going to strangers and getting them and filtering the right prospect for your business. Conversion is the act of converting a filtered lead or stranger or prospect into a buying customer. Okay, so in terms of online, you need to understand a few things or have a few structure before you can lead generate and convert them into buying customers. So at this point I want to share with you a totally new phrase or a buzzword which is going on in terms of social media marketing for lead generation. It is not created by me. It's basically a concept which is being used in terms of marketing to the social community called recommender community marketing. Okay, why do I put the 3 logos up here? If you look at the logos, by just reading the words you would know what it does, as compared to shouting about my company name called Javins and branding it, I use a community called Malaysian Business Network to position, build trust, and ultimately present my offering when the right time or the relationship has been built to a point of maturity before I pitch my offers or sell anything. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is, if I go out into the market and just say, hi, my name is Vincent and I'm from Javins, buy my online services. So that would actually piss a lot of people off or push a lot of people away, because it's pretty much spamming people and saying, hey, I've got a product, buy from me because I need to survive. No, that's the wrong way to do it. In terms of social media marketing and recommended community marketing, what you need to do is to capture people based on the words which appeals to them. Like Malaysian Business Network, by reading these 3 words, you would understand that I'm targeting a group of Malaysians who are into business and like networking. For the audience, when they read these 3 words, Malaysian Business Network as opposed to Javins Business Network or Javins Solutions, people or users or my audience will more likely to join a fan page called Malaysian Business Network, because it is non-threatening, it is independent of brands or product pitch. It's just a community with a lot of business people, and what's in it for them is basically they can even advertise their products and services there, because my target audience is basically business people on Facebook. So naturally Malaysian Business Network would appeal and attract this kind of people, rather than me pushing out my Javins as a brand as a fan page. Okay, so another example is I'm also the founder of Next Gen Parenting. It's pretty much self-explanatory. What does Next Gen Parenting do? We are the new generation parents of Generation X and Y parents who have new kids on the block, or newborns, or have kids, and we, being the digital media savvy parents who uses Facebook, and practically most Gen Y or Gen X parents use platforms like this, so they can congregate together, they can hang out together, and they can discuss about parenting and share about parenting and support each other. And in the midst of that, of course, we can position ourselves in the middle of these parents with trusted brands and present the offer to them. As an example, we could talk to a diaper brand or a teenage counseling brand, or an young entrepreneur brand, to talk to the parents, to send them for their courses or seminars or buy their products, because we are practically a recommender community. So these brands could come in and sponsor these interest-centric communities like Malaysian Business Network or Next Gen Parenting, and position themselves in a subtle way rather than just going out there and shout with advertising. And the recommended community marketing strategy may work much better than just pushing out brands and shouting about products, services, and offerings. One more community which I own and have founded is Global Internet Marketing Network. This community has close to about 25,000 people right now. It is a group of people who are learning how to create an income online, who want to use the internet to market local businesses. They want to become experts in the internet marketing arena, both to make money for themselves as well as to help local businesses market the business and products and services and offerings from the local businesses. So these are 3 recommender community which I've set up, and with the names itself, as you can see, Next Gen Parenting has close to about 13,000 parents. Malaysian Business Network has close to about 20,000 fan members in the fan pages in Facebook. So with these numbers, it clearly shows that building recommender communities like Malaysian Business Network, Next Gen Parenting, or Global Internet Marketing Network is good for lead generation. Means it's much better than pushing your brand out there. It's better for you to build a community or partner with a interest-centric community, sponsor them or partner with them or work alongside them, and then position your brand with these interest-centric communities to generate leads towards your brand and offering or your company. Okay, so that is the concept of recommender community marketing for lead generation in social media. So after understanding what is a recommender community marketing strategy for lead generation, you got to somehow send the lead somewhere to build a relationship apart from doing it on Facebook. And what's better than sending them towards your own website? So what you're looking at is something which I've developed called the BlueTail marketing centric web model. Okay, so I've named this and got this endorsed and in the Malaysian Intellectual Property Office and got it copyrighted. And what this marketing web model does is basically accepting the traffic and the audience which you have engaged in Facebook or Google or mobile from your recommender communities, okay, and pass it into components within your website. Assuming your website is javins.com or abc.com, this entire blue area is actually your website. And your website should contain a blog, and it could be at abc.com/blog, not something of Blogspot which is outside from your website to remain branding. Assuming like your company, my company is like javins.com, so I have a blog at javins.com/blog to maintain the Javins branding. And plus, to having this blog actually builds you credibility when you post about your thoughts on your particular industry, whether in gardening or finance or whatever you're doing, and posting event pictures and also your diagrams and your speaking engagements on your events. This blog is very important in continuing to build a relationship, as I've shared in terms of the different levels of relationship in the marketing funnel, which is attention, like, trust, and ultimately buy. So this builds the trust area from your like and trust level of prospects sent from Facebook towards your blog. Okay, and once they are sent to the blog, they will read about your stuff and they may trust you more. You can choose to send them to your corporate web page where you will sell or pitch your products and services or your offerings, and ultimately hopefully they will buy online through your payment page, or this can be done as a offline fulfillment when you collect the check or you follow up with a phone call. Okay, or if you felt that you want to capture some email addresses or the contact information of your audience after they have trusted you or have read your blog, you can send them to your squeeze page with a website, a link straight to a place where they can download stuff. Like, let's say if you are in the gardening niche, you create an ebook that talks about how to do great gardening in 10 days kind of thing, and in exchange for giving out that ebook or something, you get their contact information. It could be an article, it could be a white paper, it could be a tips document in PDF format. Okay, and a squeeze page basically gives out something and squeezes information out of the audience, like an email address, so that it will be passed into something called the sequential autoresponder. Okay, what is a sequential autoresponder? Basically, it is a email engine. What I mean by email engine is basically you have pre-written like 10 emails to be sent out to follow up with this prospect by giving them even more further tips and content to build even more trust. Pretty much like a follow-up, like every 2 days this email engine will send an email to them and tell them about the knowledge and your tips on doing great gardening, so that over a period of like 7-8 emails they would have already acknowledged, hey, this website has been sending me good stuff, I trust this website, I've seen them on Facebook, I've read their blog, so I've gotten their ebook, and now I've got like 7 tips from them, so it's about time for me to buy some stuff because I trust them. So this sequential autoresponder can have an email with good content on the top, and at the end have a pitch link sending them straight to the corporate web page content for your products and services, which will result to them buying on your payment page. Of course, you need another component called the tracking and analytics reporting, where you will track how many people actually visited your blog and how many people actually came into your squeeze page and your website, so that you will see which are the good channels which is sending you the right traffic and converting well for you, so that you can increase efforts on that particular channel. Of course, you can send traffic to the squeeze page using the recommended community strategy as well. You don't need to only send the traffic from the recommended community or your lead generation channels to the blog only. If you felt that you have built enough trust, you can even send them straight to the squeeze page for them to download the free ebook in exchange for their contact information to be followed up by the sequential autoresponder. So this is a good conversion strategy which I think you may want to employ, which I've developed and name it the BlueTail trademarked marketing centric web model for your business. So just to summarize the entire thing again, we have started by understanding the different generations and the different personalities and the generation Y and what is social dynamics and the different participation level through social technographics, and everybody is connected via 6 degrees of separation, and also what is the old school marketing flow, the new school marketing flow, and what is recommended community, and also the BlueTail web model. And just in this diagram it summarizes practically everything, and I can share with you my strategy is basically I built Malaysian Business Network with 20,000 fans currently. Okay, and because of the name itself, people start joining because the name itself is a community building name, not actually a brand pushing name, and that's why it went up to 20,000. Apart from some of the advertising I've done via Facebook advertising and some contests of giving out some freebies on online marketing videos and stuff to help generate more buzz and invite more friends by the fans. So Malaysian Business Network is the recommended community I'm using for lead generation, and all the trust and the attention and the like and the relationship is being built in the Facebook fan page through my videos and the content which I churn out to gain positive attention and positive liking, and ultimately doing it consistently build trust so I can send the traffic to my blog on my squeeze page or my website, and ultimately the BlueTail web model will take over the conversion process or the follow-up process of the prospect sent from the recommended community, and hopefully someday through enough content and value adding they will call me up or buy from my online payment page, or call me up and or call my company up and say, hey, I've seen your work online and it's good and it's credible, it's good content and I trust you, can we start talking business? Okay, so basically this diagram summarizes everything. The conversion model is here, the BlueTail web model. The lead generation model is through your social media channels. It may not be limited only to Facebook, it may be Google, it could be Twitter, it could be LinkedIn, it could be mobile channels as well. So I hope through this diagram you begin to see the big picture and begin to implement this strategy. So if you're interested to know more about the work which I do online, you can check out my Facebook fan page at facebook.com/JavinsCheng, or you can check out more of my videos at my YouTube channel at youtube.com/JavinsChannel, or you can visit my website or visit my blog at javins.com or javins.com/blog, or even send me an email and let's have a chat at contact@javins.com. Thank you very much for listening and watching this video. I hope that it has added value to you and your business, and please do take time to digest the information through this video and begin to implement it for your business and begin to prosper. Take care and God bless you.